Hi, everybody. It's time for our monthly astrology reading. Like I said last month, this is kind of new for me. I don't know a whole lot about astrology, but I have found some really cool spreads specifically for the different astrological signs. And I thought, well, okay, maybe I don't know a lot about astrology per se, but I can certainly read the cards and see what they have to say for the month coming up for Aries. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. I didn't even realize that. It's a sign of fire and it's motivated and daring. Okay, most Aries I know that kind of fits the description for them. So I can see where that would be the case. Um, They say that most Aries tend to be the first to volunteer when needed. And so I thought, okay, well, let's take a look at Aries. Let's see what y'all got. All right. See what's under the hood. Um, kind of what should we expect from our Aries friends and or family and or self this month, right? Um, the sign begins, I think it's March 21st. I want to say it's the 21st. I hope I got that right. Okay. Anyway, it's like March 21st to April 19th or April 20th. I forget which date now. And I didn't write it down. Go figure that one out, right? As y'all can see, I got lots of notes here I took. So I wanted to make sure that I had everything right. So I found a really cool spread just for Aries. I'm sure you saw it in the thumbnail. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch cameras so you can kind of get a glimpse of the cards. Now, I've got them laid out. It is a little hard to see them, but at least you can see the spread and where I'm working from. And then I'll flip back to me and we'll keep going from there. So let me see here. Wrong button. Okay, here we go. And one, two, three. There we go. Okay, so I've got my little altar cloth here all set up. Um, Go ahead and ring my bell, clear the energy here, and we'll start out from the beginning. The first card was the King of Cups, followed by the Eight of Pentacles reversed, followed by the Three of Wands, then the Star, then Ace of Wands, and then the Hanged Man. Quite an interesting group of cards for this particular reading, I will admit. I had to really kind of think on this for a couple of days, trying to determine exactly what it was that Spirit was telling me about Aries for their month, which is getting ready to start next week. It'll be the end of next week when the Aries sign kicks in. So I know that we have a full moon coming up in the next couple of days, and that it will be a blood moon, which means will also be undergoing a full lunar eclipse. And it, because of the way it works with eclipses and whatnot, the way it looks to the naked eye, it makes the moon look red. Hence the name blood moon. So, all right, just so y'all can get a better look. Okay, we have the King of Cups. Then we had the Eight of Pentacles reversed, followed by the Three of Wands, and then the Star. And I'm going to show that just real quickly because she's naked, and YouTube has a problem with naked cards. Go figure. Okay, followed by the Ace of Wands, followed by ending it out with the Hanged Man. So, which is a very interesting card in and of itself. Just just for that card alone. All right. So now that y'all got a little look at all the cards here, I'm going to switch back over here to me. Hey, here I am. Okay. So let's get going here. All righty. So, like I said, the first card up with the first question was hang on. Okay, here we go. I just realized I didn't have the questions pulled up for the draw. I was like, it's going to be kind of hard to read these if I don't have the questions go with them, right? So, question number one was the position that they gave the question, which is the, let's see, can you see it here? Here we go. All right, the King of Cups. All right, that's the first one. And so the question for that is that position is called the throne. And it says, what can help support your personal growth this season? And the King of Cups came up. And so as I looked it up and I started reading a little bit on Aries and whatnot, um, and it asked, how can we help support the personal growth of an Aries? Um, Simply put, you will grow when acknowledging a calm and caring demeanor. Um, you allow kindness and caring to take center stage for your growth. That alone will help you grow faster than anything else. The second card, or the ram, was uh, I'll get the card here in a minute. The Eight of Pentacles reversed. Here we go. All right. And it's rare that I pull reversals because I tend to keep my cards all in the same direction. So when one of them pops out reversed, it's like, okay, Spirit wants us to pay attention to this. And so the ram is asking how you are called to stand firmly in your values. And with the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, this can mean a lack of motivation or impatience or not being persistent uh, with things that need to be done. You just kind of let things slide. And we all go into those moods. It's nothing to be real worried about unless you don't come out of that mood. So that's also important. Um, this is basically a little bit of a warning sign from Spirit on what to avoid in order to stand up for your values. And so you want to make sure that if you start feeling apathetic about something, you just kind of letting it slide, okay, whatever. That's Spirit when you get that little nudge saying, hey, pay attention. It takes effort. You have to be willing to put in the work in order to reap the benefits. Okay, and so that leads us into our next card, card three, or the Ankh or staff. God, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly or not. If I'm not, don't crucify me, guys. Okay, and that was the Three of Wands. And uh, all right, now the Three of Wands represents your experience of rebirth this season. The Three of Wands reminds you to explore and expand your plans for the future. So, go ahead and make your plans. Where do you see yourself 6 months from now? Where do you see yourself a year from now, 2 years from now? Sit down and put a little time into it and think about it. Maybe start journaling. Put down, this is where I see myself in 6 months. And then write out as much as you can imagine of where you want to be in your life in your spiritual life, in your emotional life. All of those things can be self determined if we make a point of choosing that path and then we speak it out loud. We write it down. We go back to it and we say, okay, this is what I want. This is where I want to be 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now, whatever. It just kind of helps solidify that direction that you want to go in. And that will help you down the road as things happen. It will help you be able to kind of step back a minute and go, maybe I need to go in this direction instead of in that direction. Because this direction is going to lead me to a more to a quicker result of gaining that which I want to be in 6 months. Um, and so it helps you to kind of plan for your future. Like I said, it helps you kind of solidify what direction you want to go in and how you want to get there. Um, and then the card 4 or the mountain asks, where are you being called to take up more space? And for that, we drew the star. Now, the star represents hope, inspiration, and receiving guidance from your higher power. It means you're listening to what Spirit is telling you. You're not just running headfirst, willy nilly, jump on out there and let's do it. No, that means that you take that little pause, okay, and you start to look at whatever or whoever is meant for you to bring you closer to that future that you're looking for. Um, the star, because of the card itself, is telling us that our future looks bright. Looks like we'll be achieving goals. If it's at all possible, we'll be able to achieve our goals and move forward from there. Now, the next card, the fifth card, is what they call the stream or river. And that is, where are you being called to soften your need for control? For that, we drew the Ace of Wands. Um, it's kind of like wanting to know, where do you let loose your need for control? The Ace of Wands, which represents new beginnings, new creativity, new inspirations. It helps you figure out what's the best path to take to move into the future that you're looking for. Um, it's also a reminder that we don't have to control every aspect of whatever projects we're a part of, because there may be several projects at work, at home, school, depending on where you are in your life and what you're doing. There's a real good chance, from what I'm picking up here, is that you're going to be you need to be able to let go of some of that control. All right. You know where your focus is, you know where you want to be in 6 months. So you focus on that, you focus on the steps. What's going to get you to that goal in 6 months? Does that mean you knock off getting that latte every morning and then instead putting that money in a jar somewhere? In 6 months' time, how much money do you have saved up? Most lattes are what, between $5 and $10 a piece a day. That's start adding it up. That's a pretty good little penny you could put aside there. Maybe your goal is to take a vacation or to take your kids to Disney World or to go to the mountains and go, river rafting and hiking up in the mountains, or just going down to the beach and hanging out at the beach for a week or two. Um, there are a lot of different aspects of where we're going for our future goal. Maybe you're looking at saving up enough money to make a down payment on that house that you want. Um, these are all new projects that can get started with your life. Uh, but you don't have to control every single step. What's important here is spirit is trying to point out that it's okay to let go of some of that control and just let spirit do what spirit is here to do. Sometimes it can't do anything until we get the hell out of the way. All right. So that's just part of learning what you can and can't control, what you should and shouldn't control. It also allows you to help other people within that group. Say it's a work group, or it's a school group, or a parents group, whatever. It allows you, when you step back and say, okay, I don't have to control every mood here. Well, this allows other people within that group, within that focus of where you're moving forward, this allows them to step up and take their leadership role. Maybe it's time for you to step back so that someone else can step forward and discover what it is to be responsible for what the group is going to do. Okay. Um, and you're there to show your support. You're there to help them. You're there to guide them. Maybe you've done whatever the project may be. Maybe you've run that for several years in a row. Okay, let somebody else do it. But be there and be willing to share your knowledge and your insight and say, well, when last year when we did this, these were the steps I took. These steps were successful, these steps were not. So that whoever new comes along to run the group for this new goal, they have a little bit of that knowledge to help them make better choices. Um, Now, the final card I drew was what they call the crown, which is potential rewards or growth if you act on the intentions that you have already set. Full moon is a good time to post your intentions as well. Um, Now, of course, the last card of the deck was the Hanged Man. Okay, right here, the Hanged Man. Now, there's a lot to be said for the Hangman because there are, from what I've understand in the time that I have studied, and it just so happened I did a show with Jeffrey of Ripe Color several years back when he was still in New York. We did an hour-long show just on the Hangman, and I was still really brand spanking new at all of this, and thought, why would we spend an hour on just one card? I mean, it's just one card, right? But when you start looking into what the hangman stands for, that it's reminding you that sometimes forward movement gets stopped. Not because you're not supposed to do that thing, but because those around you or whatever it is that you're working toward you are not quite ready yet. So you got to hang back a little bit. Give it time. Let it finish maturing or ripening or growing or whatever it is. Um, the hangman reminds us that there's going to be resistance. You're going to kind of feel like you're just kind of stuck in a rut for a little while. it gives you a real fear of, how to put it, you can develop a fear of lack of control, or the fear of indecision in your life. And we don't need to worry about feeling those things. Everybody comes to a point in their life where they have to kind of put the brakes on and go, whoa, wait a minute, just a minute. Something's not connecting here. Something's not firing on all pistons, so to speak. And so that's when it's important to kind of take that step back, like the hangman, and contemplate what would be the best choice for you to make, and really think it through, follow it through. Like if I take step A, then in a week I'm going to be here. In 2 weeks, I'm going to be further down the road. And in 3 weeks, it's going to knock me all the way back to the beginning. Okay, well, do we really want to do that? Most of us don't. We want to keep progressing. So that's part of what the hangman is reminding you, that it's okay to take a pause and catch your breath and decide what it is and isn't for your most benevolent good, to kind of step back a little bit. And that's kind of what the hangman, and if you also notice with the hangman, he's not bound in such a way that he can't get out. No, no. Our guy is either just standing in place or is loosely tied to that place so that they can then leave that space when their work is done and they can move on to their next project. Um, our society today is such an instant society. Everybody is used to getting information that fast, food that fast. You whip in and out through Mickey D's or the King, or Popeyes, something like that, and you get used to picking up a meal that didn't take any thought or preparation for. Um, and that in and of itself can be kind of depressing, I guess you could say, because again, you feel like you're stuck in a rut, and you're not necessarily stuck in a rut. What you are is taking a moment to kind of reassess your life and what you've been through, um, what the people around you have been through, especially those that know us fairly well. And if they don't hear from me during the course of the evening, they will send me a text or call me to make sure I'm okay. And it's really nice to have friends like that. Um, we also have, I guess, for the hangman would be, I'm trying to decipher my handwriting, y'all. I just scribbled this down like in the car as I was doing readings. Um, it's understanding what your potential reward is going to be down the road. Does it mean that those earbuds will be dead by the time you get up in the morning? I try to, from the moment I get home, I try to shuffle everything that needs to be charged up. I try to shuffle it around, keep up with it. And sometimes you just got to wait for the washer to quit washing and spinning and rinsing and all that stuff. Um, I know it's a weird analogy I'm making here, but I'm trying to think of something that would make you stop in your tracks. Laundry is one of them. Um, for some of us, cooking would be, it's like you got to eat, so you learn to cook, but it doesn't mean you generally like your cooking. Um, although it is nice when somebody else is like, wow, that was really good. That kind of makes you feel good. Um, but as I'm looking at the hangman, okay, We also have the Ace of Wands right there. And with the Ace of Wands, we're talking about um, again new projects, new things happening that's coming around for you to be able to spend more personal time with friends or family, time with your kids, time with your spouse, time with your parents or your siblings, whoever. It's a matter of, well, and this thought always comes through my brain, so y'all don't kill me here. But every time I see the Ace of Wands, I think it's some little old lady coming up and bopping somebody on top of the head with that wand and saying, "Get over yourself." It's just where my brain goes. Yes, I know it's weird. Um, and of course, with the star, you've got someone who's 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on land. They're trying to harvest their crops, and I know down here anyway, they're always looking for people to come work to help harvest. The tariffs are making it very hard. Um, excuse me. So I would say that altogether, your altogether, the potential reward for you is when you step back and you give yourself a pause, then that can help you be a better person, better parent, a better spouse, a better sibling, a better teacher, a better uh, uh, now I'm going to go blank on the word. Y'all know what I'm talking about, though. I'm just having a brain fart. Um, it helps you to focus in when you take that pause. Now you can look forward and say, "Oh, I'm ahead of schedule," or "Oh, I got a lot of work between now and next week to get this done and out the door." Right? That's been me with this video. I'm still really, really intimidated doing the astrology videos because I really don't know that much about astrology. But it's a fascinating topic and I've always loved it. The math kills me. I cannot do the math for it. It literally makes my brain just go like wobbly. So, I think that with all of these cards here, we're talking about an older person coming into your life that's going to help support you in respects of giving you a roof over your head and food to eat every day. Uh, that can be expensive, a whole lot more expensive if there's more people allowed. Um, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think, and I got messages coming in my brain. And it's like trying to make room for both. Don't be afraid to hold back for just a minute. That's what they're telling me. Don't be afraid to hold back and maybe wait another day. Make sure that's something you really want to get. You know, if you do online shopping, guilty as charged. Um, it's real easy to spend money you don't have and to go overboard when you're kind of left to your own devices to do your work. Some of us work better, like from home or in solitude, because then I can concentrate on what it is I'm dealing with as far as budgets and whatnot are concerned. And that makes it a whole lot easier to get things completed. So I feel like altogether, let me look at these one more time. Okay. I mean, even the reverse card talks about self development, perfectionism, um, misdirected activity, that kind of things. And that's important to when you have those friendships where you're that close with each other, that you work hard at staying in that relationship. Um, and then I got the what was it? The Eight of Pentacles reversed. Like I said, this doesn't happen that often, but it's also showing us that some of what we need to work on is self development. King of Cups. That's really important because that is telling me that we're kind of on the right track here. One question, one question, one question. And it doesn't take a whole lot of questions to kind of figure out what direction you want to go in. So, to tie it all together, I think Aries, those in the sign of Aries, are being told that it's kind of okay for them to follow around and see what they're doing and how they do it, I guess would be a good way to put it. Uh, I can't think of anything else. I'm sure there's tons of stuff that astrologers would be able to plug into the data. Out, out comes your report, right? No, okay, they're not saying anything else. It's weird. It's like they start a conversation and then they just stop. And it's like, hello, you're leaving me out to dry here. Um, I'm losing my train of thought because I'm getting tired. Okay, I'm just going to stop this here before I say something really stupid or silly and have to go back and edit because I hate to edit because I'm not very good at it. Um, but yeah, so I think Aries is going to have a good month this coming month. Things seem to be moving right along. So yeah, okay, that's your spread for Aries, for the astrological sign Aries. That's coming up in a couple of weeks. Next week, maybe next week, I think it is. There's going to be a lot of powerful juju out there. So be ready for it. All right. Yeah, I'm listening and I'm trying to see if they're going to tell me anything else, and they're not. They're just crickets. All right. So I guess they're done. So, Aries, you got a good month coming. Don't get in too big of a rush. Take your time about it. Let everything kind of percolate, come together, help you make the right decision on where you want to be come April, May, June, July, August, whatever it is that has you concerned. Nothing else. That's it. I'm wrung dry. So we have a pretty good spread. King of Cups, the Eight of Pentacles reversed, the Three of Wands, the Star, the Ace of Wands, and then the Hangman. So that's a lot of big energy. A lot of things kind of coming to a head. Um, I think it's just going to foretell the fact that we've got an explosive season coming up on us, regardless of your astrological charts. um, yeah, so I'm going to release this. It's going to be for my members. And then a week or two after the members have had time to enjoy it, then I'll release it to the public and just anybody can watch. And all right, guys, that's it. We're gonna say good night for now. I keep fading out on y'all. Have a great month. This ought to be a good one. We will survive it. I have faith. I have absolute faith in all of you. Bye for now.